Welcome back, Wolfpack. Vrelis here, and let's look at Mega Steelix. Now, Mega Steelix is a very interesting Pokemon for me personally, because I said Mega Aggron was going to be one of the strongest Pokemon in the game, and unfortunately that became one of my most popular videos. Now, here's how I see it on Mega Steelix. It's a Mega Aggron, but better. So I really want to talk about how this Pokemon can get a lot of strength and potentially become one of the strongest Megas in the game. Now, looking at stats, better stats, that it has the same defenses, but actually gets a little more special defense and more hit points than Aggron. So we can make that work. I see more potential now. The attack is lower, but I don't care if you're going for a setup Pokemon. After that, we have the Steel Ground typing. Interesting typing right there that you do have water weaknesses added right now, and it's going to kind of trade off, but you have a ton of resistances, so this Pokemon's going to be a very safe Pokemon to switch in, and maybe even play some kind of Skarmbliss with, that you could have a special defense tank and Mega Steelix, and everything's going to be just excellent. Weaknesses, not the worst, you can endure them with your incredible stats, good immunities, good resistances, so let's hop into Pokemon Showdown and show what this Pokemon is all about. And I'm feeling Rest Talk, that if you Rest Talk with Curse Heavy Slam, nothing's going to be able to stop you. That over time you're going to have a ton of damage set up from Curse. Rest is going to give you an incredible amount of sustain since you are a very hard Pokemon to KO, even with super effective hits. That physically, if your opponent only has physical Pokemon, they're done. If they have some special attackers, they're going to have to be some incredibly hard-hitting special attackers to break through the Steelix, especially with the Rest Sleep Talk. That generally a sweeper that could threaten you. If you survive the hit, you throw out a Heavy Slam, that sweeper's gone. So you can really set up back in really quick, and it's going to be a really solid idea. Now, here's where the split comes in. Special Defense Nature does mean you get less defensive points overall, because if you put a beneficial nature in a Pokemon with higher stats, you're going to get more points out of it. But since your special defense caps out pretty low compared to your defense, I try to get the most out of my special defense. That way, I'm already boosting my defenses with Curse. I don't think the defenses really matter too much, because they're just going to get monstrous, and they're already monstrous to begin with. So you can go with that careful nature, but if you really just want to be a dedicated physical tank, the Impish is going to reward you with almost 50 points just for having the beneficial nature. That's kind of crazy. So this is the idea I had set up. Also, Mega Steelix, has a couple other options that you can make it a Stealth Rock Curse Annoyance Pokemon. Now, I'm not really sure about how you can Sleep Talk onto this, but if you want to use it for setup, it's going to be a really good Pokemon to set up with as well. And then you have good amounts of coverage from there. That you have Steel Ground with Earthquake being a really good hit. You have Rock for that Rock Slide attack, and then you just get Elemental Fangs. So you can really make with this Pokemon what you need to coverage out with, and it's going to be very nice to have. Then we have just offense. Steelix can play a really mean offense because if they're physically attacking or even special attacking, you can punish them greatly. That with an Adamant Nature, max hit points, you're still going to be a very frustrating Pokemon to knock out. And you still get almost 400 attack because of the 125 attack with some of the most excellent coverage. That whatever your opponent has, you're just going to be able to hit them really hard. Heavy Slam is also a move I wanted to make note of. It's better than Gyro Ball. Even though you have a really pitiful speed, the Pokemon's going to have over 320 speed to get the same damage as a Heavy Slam on a Pokemon less than, I think, 300 or 400 weight. So I'm just saying Heavy Slam's going to be more reliable, especially against the frail, skinny little sweeper kind of Pokemon out there. You're just going to slam into them for max damage instead of having to try to make sure they're a sweeper to get the most out of it. So Heavy Slam's going to be more reliable damage, I feel, and it's going to hit incredibly hard. Then we have Rock Slide, Earthquake. You're going to get stabbed, you're going to get good coverage out of this. Ice Fang, you can also carry Fire Fang, and a lot of other moves are in this, so you can look at that for some strength. And if you play it on a Trick Room team, singles or doubles Trick Room is going to be absurd. Now, doubles Trick Room, recommend the Protect. That way you can, protect, set up, get your Mega Evolution going, and then now that you have this speed priority under the Trick Room, it's going to be just a very hard-hitting Pokemon. Throw out the Earthquake, make sure your Trick Room Pokemon has Telepathy or protects for itself, and you're just going to be able to ruin your opponent's day while dishing out many attacks that come from this huge unkillable Pokemon. Also, you can set up a Smooth Rock Tyranitar, I was thinking. Give you that single Trick Room. It'll pair really nice with a Drillbur, not the Excadrill, the evolution one. It'll pair really nice with an Excadrill. You have Mega Steelix for extra damage support, Tyranitar setting up the Sandstorm, and then you can use your other 3 Pokemon to play with those weaknesses because you're bringing a lot of Pokemon weak against water. So you can kind of figure things out from there and really start to build on a team that's going to make the Sandstream really strong with a Mega Steelix, with an Excadrill, just bringing a lot of pain that your opponent really can't handle. Or if you want Mega Steelix to have some incredible KO and staying power, I was thinking Espeon. Espeon with the Rest Talk set is going to be some of the most devastating that you can bring. That I don't care, you're setting up Calm Minds, well, that's going to be boosting your special defense, and special attack doesn't really matter, but you're going to be getting a reliable form of special defense. That Espeon with its Magic Bounce makes it a very reliable Pokemon to set up Baton Pass with. So you go Calm Mind, set up a Reflect. With the Light Clay, you have 8 turns of that Reflect, which means as those 8 turns wear off, you get extra curses, you Rest Talk, you're going to have over 600 special defense. It's going to be a mess for your opponent, and then Baton Pass it off. Also, a Pokemon that has Amnesia with Baton Pass can be very strong. Anything that gets special defense in the Steelix will just make it an even more impossible to knock out threat, and that's where I see its strength. That's why I saw the strengths in Aggron, that if you get set up, if you get rolling, you wall out almost every physical Pokemon. That a lot of the physical threats people are going to be running, like Mega Salamence, they really don't have much to respond with to you. You know, they can bring a fire type attack, but if they're running it any kind of like non-standard way, they have a chance against you. But like standard physical attackers are just going to be obliterated by a Mega Steelix. So I feel that, you know, can super wall out. If you build your team around it, Mega Steelix will shine more than it would just as a regular Pokemon. So, you know, if you play with that special defense defensive wall kind of setup, mix it around, make it a really hard Pokemon to knock out, I think that there's a lot of strength in Mega Steelix, and that's why I saw in Mega Aggron. So, next best Mega? Potentially. I think that the couple niche players that'll pick it up will find out how to use it just to absurd levels. So if you guys enjoyed the video, that's Mega Steelix.